such instinct to go onto the clutch.
Well, you would have loved to have driven that one.
I know, I would really have loved to.
And it
And I'm
goes,
telling you, it's Murphy's Law. When we stop, the
120.
rain will stop. There's so much. I mean, the world is just, it always boggles my mind. I mean, we're just such a minuscule part
There are
of it.
only two ways to unravel.
Yeah,
One is to dream, the other is travel.
correct.
So there was a choice between what kind of engine do we put into it. This is not an original from any angle. I did not want an original because I did not want to feel that I'm going to leave my house and whether I'm going to make my destination or not. So they are still very sturdy, but they do require a lot of maintenance and work. This is a maintenance-free car, Jeep. And
As we grow old, we require maintenance too. It's the same with
yeah,
cars.
I didn't want that. I wanted something which would give me the feel of the World War II Willys Jeep, but not necessarily technically be that old. This is now a 5-gear with 4-wheel drive, low and high. So this baby really runs and it's got a lot of power.
But you know, sometimes old is really, really
Yeah.
gorgeous. They have their quirks, they have their funkiness, but the kind of raw appeal that they have also makes them just so wonderful.
Like I really want to know the water level,
Yeah.
my fuel level, the heat, right, and the engine oil, which is also, if you keep checking,
Yeah.
you don't really need
Yeah.
to, kind of look at this dial. So
Yeah.
these dials are enough. And even, in fact, he gave me a horn also, like this,
Cool. So you have everything that's
And
on
there is a float in the thing to give that feel.
correct.
There is a float in the steering.
wheel, so you get the feeling of the
Yeah,
old
you get
car.
the feeling that it's an old car.
And you can do the real quintessential Hindi movie.
Yeah, you can.
You obviously love this car a lot, and I can see that it's like pristinely maintained. Are you also Parsi with your cars? Do you have that
I am a little Parsi with my cars, and there is a garage guy called Arif Khan who looks after it, and I send it quite often to have it all checked. And because of the monsoon, the body does catch rust bits here and there, so they have to be all removed after monsoon. And general checkup, and I ask him to go for a drive, and everything is good. So I'm a bit Parsi with my cars. I'm Parsi with my horses as well.
And
I've got a lot of Parsi friends who own horses, and
and half one more now.
half one more now. In World War II, when these things were commissioned, so Ford and Jeep both made it, and their parts were interchangeable.
Yeah.
This, in fact, this invention of a Jeep in the World War II helped the Allied forces immensely to come over the Axis forces.
Correct.
And because of the utility of it, like you could double it up as many things. You could even put a gun at the back and make it into an armored vehicle. And and also to ship these things, this whole thing comes apart.
Correct.
And you can put it in a box.
Yeah.
You can put it in a box, including the engine and everything. Every little piece fits into another piece like Lego, and it can go in a box and it can be shipped anywhere.
Yeah, and I think just like you said, during the war, that short wheelbase, the narrow frame, and the fact that you had still had this great ramp over, brake over, and departure angle. It just went through anything. And it was still compact and agile, which wasn't the case in earlier days, So that was the thing.
Right.
Yeah, you do have the.
So you can put it up quite easily. It's very light.
And get your windbreaker in place.
Yeah, you just put that up. Wait, the fuck?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
God, it's crashed my Jeep. Damn.
Yeah, and that's the beauty about it, the simplicity of these things, snap on, snap off. Today's cars just get so much more complicated.
Yeah.
And I've got this side on, yeah.
You got on properly?
We're on.
Okay.
Want me to double check?
Yeah, you need to put that
Double
down.
check.
Yeah, this.
There you go.
Right.
Okay.
So it's even got these little wipers that I got put And
So what are the cool bits like from an OG that you really wanted?
everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I think they've replicated it well. And I was very sure that I wanted a replica only
Okay.
and not a real one because I didn't want the headache of, having to. Can you pull that up?
Yeah, sure. You want
Having
to
to
take
go
it?
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just pull it up. Yeah, put it up. Yeah, like that.
Okay, cool.
So that was the
Yeah.
interesting part.
Do you do a lot of road trips? I know you said you're fed up of driving being a cab driver.
I used to, but I don't usually drive on them. Some of my more memorable road trips would be towards in northern India, towards Naushera and all those places in J&K where I drove, and there are good roads there and it's all curvy, and and so you do actually do some driving instead of sitting on a freeway and going, okay, change the music. So
Absolutely. No, if you're a car person, you need a winding road and a manual, and then you're done.
yeah, that's really
Then
cool.
that's what makes it good to drive. I was recently, in fact, just last week, I was in J&K for the first time in my life. I can't believe in all my travels, I've never been there. But like you
beautiful.
said, the roads are just fabulous.
Roads are fabulous and they are windy enough for you to really love driving.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Then there is, of course, the old gun rack that is usually there in these Jeeps. You can put your guns, a shotgun there, it's got bullet things in it, which I would probably never use. And these spades and stuff like that, I'm going to change them and make them more real and usable than this ornamentary right now.
You also do a lot of wildlife photography.
Yes,
I believe.
yes, yes.
So, which is why you would never use a gun. I get that.
Yes.
And do you
And
take
also
this?
because of bad temper.
Okay, I don't want to be next to you when you're in a bad mood then. But do you take this a lot when you go out to do wildlife photography?
well,
Because one
I
would
have-
imagine it's perfect.
I did drive it around a lot in Punjab, and I went to Harike National Park and all that. But I haven't been able to take it out in the jungle. In fact, I'm making a house in MP, in little jungle pocket near Kanha Tiger Reserve, where actually I had got it done for. But due to a lot of factors, that making of that house has gotten delayed. So I just can't wait to just have one structure up there so I can sleep safely in the night, and then I'm going to park it over there and I'm never going to bring it back.
Sorry.
We have to go there. I've driven it about 120 on Punjab highways.
Yeah.
Very comfortably. I put it in the 5th gear and it's just smooth as hell.
Yeah, well, you've got a great Toyota engine in it, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
assume would just make it very comfortable.
Yeah, these Japanese make very good engines.
They do, and reliable.
A lot of these cars that we enjoy, whether it's a Mercedes or BMWs and all that, they were all developed for war
Correct.
machinery, and that too by the Nazis, so many things like that. Hugo Boss was the designer for the Nazi army,
Correct.
and they do not have a bad imaging because capitalism has taken over. That's
So many cars, the Zeta, the Beetle, the people's cars, they were all built in that time and era for a purpose.
for a purpose of another kind, and then wars have taken technology ahead in lots of ways.
Yeah.
And made it more accessible, because in war times you had to make all equipment which could travel and be accessible to larger groups of people.
Yeah, that's a perspective I never thought of, the
Yeah,
travel.
yeah. So a lot of these things are the inventions of that time.
And I guess you had to make them super reliable because they
Yeah.
had to go through the war.
Yeah.
So,
So that's a big thing. And there's some old Russian cars also which I saw in Kazakhstan,
yeah.
which were really boxy and all that, but really tough as nails.
Yeah.
They go anywhere. And even Germans had very interesting these
Lot of
armored vehicles and jeeps, and stuff which were very good, but I don't know where they disappeared.
Yeah. Oh, well, now we have fancy armored cars like the A8 and the S-Guard and the, so that's all gone in history. And strangely enough, a lot of the armored cars now are, of course, these fancy sedans and SUV. I mean, not SUVs, which they were in the old days. All the armored cars were Jeeps, SUVs,
Yeah, but
these days, everybody wants luxury.
Most SUVs are really used in the city. These big ass cars would not, because of the sheer weight and the size of them.
Yeah.
They're not very good at those things, and of course they cost a lot.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go bang up your car,
Correct. No, and I think that's the thing that people these days buy the car for the comfort of it, and our
and
terrain
the road
is
presence. Well, it was lovely meeting you, man, and hopefully we get to drive away somewhere into the sunset sometime.
Absolutely, anytime, and anything you ever need to know about cars or want to know about cars, call me.
Yeah. And the rain deprived us of driving
hopefully we'll do it one
my
day.
Jeep. But thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
God bless you.
Absolute
God bless
pleasure.
you. I'm looking forward
pleasure.
to seeing the show.
Me
See
too.
you guys.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.